Good evening, race fans, and welcome back to the FEG PC NASCAR Oval Series every Monday night, brought to you by FEGPC.net. As always, I'm your host, James East, with Team Goon Squad Broadcasting, bringing the action 1080p 60 frames a second, as we get ready for an exciting night for you. The trucks find themselves at new Smyrna Speedway, a less than a half mile. We're running custom setups, courtesy of McConey Setup Shop, and going to be an exciting 135 laps as always. Thank you to our fans, friends, and family from across the world. Tune in, supporting your favorite driver, your favorite league, and possibly even your favorite broadcaster. Let us know where you're from. We'll make sure you get a shout out here on the YouTube side of the broadcast. As right now, looks like practice getting ready to come to a close before we head out to our single car qualifying, where drivers will have 2 laps to set the fastest lap they can of the evening and see where things are going to pan out. We got about 16 drivers that made their way onto the circuit. Some drivers haven't had too many laps here. Looking at Wally Babb, the 99 Ford F-150. He's only got about 5 laps of practice so far today, showing up a little bit late. Meanwhile, you've got drivers such as Chad Ross, or look at that Josh Bonwell. He clicked off 160 laps here in practice today. So that could be the difference for some of these drivers. Let's see if we can get a camera point over Bonwell on the 56 machine as he rolls out for a single truck qualifying. Bonwell out on track. Looks like Baloo and Chad Ross will quickly take to the track as well. A little bit lighter field than we've seen in the past. Not sure if the short track racing may be scaring some drivers away here late into the 7th segment of the season. But this could be a very good points night for drivers who are able to escape what could be a pretty wild race. Bonwell on 18.3, his first time lap, and that's going to be all he gets as he pitches it around the 56. and he will take a tow back to pit road. We've handed John Ballew's number 9. Chad Ross moves up to second on the board in 18.57. Let's see what Ballew and the number 9 machine is gonna be able to make happen. Now, we talked to fan favorite Jay Darger before today's broadcast. He's a little bit apprehensive and not feeling his normal confident self coming out here on the half mile. So, going to be interested to see what he can do in that 57 machine as we watch Ballew click off his first time lap in 18.44. This may be one of those tracks where drivers really just have one quick lap to try and set the fastest one. Let's see if Ballew improves on that 18.44 as he crosses the start finish line. What's it going to be? Just slightly, with an 18.35. There's the aforementioned Jay Darger, the Marine Spec 57 Chevrolet. Currently holding on to a 6th place qualifying with an 18.46. A little bit less than 2/10 off the pace here. He makes his way on the start finish line straight for the final time. Ooh, mate. No, he's going to click off at 18.77. That's as good as it gets for Darger. Eric Parks out on track in the 73 machine, about halfway through qualifying. Holding on to a provisional 8th place. Look at that, James Kopp at the 41. Leaps up the standings into 4th, and around goes Parks as well. Drivers were talking about how loose the trucks felt tonight. Gonna be interesting. We've already seen quite a few spinouts and rear end misadventures here in qualifying. Radke hops up into the 3rd place spot. That's going to be a good position to be in, that inside line. He wants the 1st place, but not able to improve an 18.35 compared to his 18.34. And it looks like just one driver left out on track. That's the distance driver, Corey Stahl, in the 66. First lap, 18.56. That's good enough for 11th, but Stahl definitely putting his head down here, wants to improve on that. Oh, and he's not going to have the opportunity. I'm going to say he did that on purpose, right, ladies and gentlemen? So Corey Stahl will come down pit road. Got a minute left in qualifying. It looks like Kent McCullough Jr., Jimmy Socks, and Ryan Strunk have yet to put down qualifying times here. And that could very well be the end of qualifying. Gonna be interesting to see how this one pans out, ladies and gentlemen. 135 laps around the very short New Smyrna. That would put this, if we go caution-free, and that is a big old if, about a 40-minute main event here tonight. As we wait for qualifying to wind down, doesn't look like McCullough, Socks, or Strunk are going to go out and put down laps here. As qualifying officially comes to a close. And we get ready to send these drivers out for our main event, the FEG PC NASCAR Oval Series. Let's run through your grid, ladies and gentlemen. Starting on pole, the friendly Canadian, Derek Fulton, the number 70 machine. Josh Bonwell starting 2nd. We've got Jeff Radke starting 3rd. John Ballew starts 4th. James Kaufman starting 5th. Chad Ross in the 38 Special, he's starting 6th. Dalton McKinney starts 7th. Jay Darger, the fan favorite, starting 8th. Eddie Hawks starts 9th. Eric Park starting 10th. Corey Stahl starting 11th. Wally Babb, the Georgian native, he's starting 12th. Cycling it back, we've got Ryan Strunk starting 13th. Kenneth McCullough Jr. starting 14th. Stephen Page starts 15th. And Jimmy Sox in the 01 will round out the 16 truck grid here today. Let's get ready, ladies and gentlemen. The main event, the FEGPC.net NASCAR Oval Series every Monday night, is getting ready to start the show. Looks like the Irish safety car going to make its way out onto the track. It's Fulton Bonwell, the front row. Radke Ballou, your second row. Kaufman and Ross, your third row. Now, I'm a little interested to see here, ladies and gentlemen, how long will we go before we have the first caution? Not if we have a caution, when we have a caution. Because if I was a betting man, and I am, I'm going to say it's going to be these first opening laps. The driver's going to have very loose trucks, fresh tires underneath them, not quite warmed up. Both machine and man taking a little bit to get in the groove. Safety car will be down pit road this time by and let's go, green flag racing. It's Fulton and Bonwell up front. Bonwell trying the high line here at New Smyrna, trying to make something happen, carrying a little bit more momentum. Looks like he is going to take over the race lead. Fulton falls back to third as here comes John Ballou in the number 9 machine. And look at that, a big lunge from Chad Ross in the 38. He's seeing that outside line, getting that momentum going and saying, hey, maybe these guys have something figured out, but already the caution is out. We've got Ryan Strunk and it looks like Stephen Page both tied up in that one. So caution is out for the first time this evening. Let's take a look and see what happened to the driver of the 77 and the number 1. We're focusing on Strunk in the 77. One of the drivers involved in that looks like he's hard on the brakes, gives a little bit of a tap to Wally Babb's 99 machine, upsets the truck, and then just gets pushed just a little bit around by Stephen Page. And you can see, I believe that's going to be McCullough and Sox locking up hard on the brakes to avoid getting into those two. And that will be our first caution of the evening, as we are once again back to high pacing conditions. We're going to try this once more, getting ready to get the field gridded up. Now, Ken McCall Jr. looks like he came down pit road in lap 4, maybe to splash off on fuel. Ryan Strunk, Stephen Page will be a lap down here at New Smyrna. It will once again be Bonwell Ballou, the front row, Fulton Radke, your second row, Ross and Kaufman, your third row. Looks like the field just about gridded up. Slotted back into their assigned starting order. All 16 drivers still out on track. It looks like the safety car should be making its way in. There we go, down pit road. We are green flag racing once more. Bonwell's going to have the inside line, but look at the corner speed of Baloo. Ripping the middle groove right behind them. That's Fulton and Radke side by side. Baloo takes over the race lead, heading into 3 and 4. Bonwell tries to fire back at the inside line. Oh, there's contact up front. Bonwell and Baloo getting into each other. Bonwell gets a little bit loose on the inside. Gonna have to fight back. He did just have the fastest lap of 19-18, but Baloo's figuring something out. Takes over the race lead. Just behind them, though, there's Derek Fulton, Jeff Radke. Radke always extremely tough to get around his 51 machine, whether it's a big track or a short track, because it looks like the top of the field starting to settle in single file. Radke has some good forward momentum here in the 51. He's keeping the pressure on Josh Bonwell's 56 machine, but has to be careful. It looks like Fulton trying to get a nose in every single time. It'll be very interesting to see how tire wear is a factor here at this short track. And my big question of the evening, will we see those front bumpers come into play by the time it's all said and done? It's late in the Segment 7 championship. The drivers know if they're going to get any points, it needs to be late into this section of the season. Not many drivers making big moves, but John Baloo is the hard charger so far, up into the race lead, that number 9 Chevrolet. He is up 3 positions. You've also got Jimmy Sox in the 01 machine sitting 13th. He is also up 3 positions. Now, very interesting, Stephen Page, who's a lap down the number 1 machine, just clicked off the fastest lap at 18.52, so he's got the pace. But being in that very early incident, he's going to have his work cut out for him here and maybe have to hope for a caution or a lucky dog. And he is trying to get that number 1 machine in the right spot as he's battling with Brian Strunk at the 77. This will be for the lucky dog position. If we have the caution come out again, one of these drivers will be put back on the lead lap as there's contact between the two. They're going to bring out their own caution, meaning they will not get the lucky dog. And I think Brian Strunk may have disconnected here. Takes a tow back to pit road and calls it quits. Let's check that out, seeing what happened to 77. Things look good, heading into 1 and 2. Just a little minor contact between the two, leading into turn 1. And even more contact. It's too tough to call if Strunk gets into Page or Page gets into Strunk, but Strunk says, you know what? That's enough. I'm going to put it back in the virtual hauler, and I'm going to watch this one from the spectator area. That's going to be our second caution of the night. One driver looks to be back in the virtual hauler. That's Strunk in the 77. Let's see, 18 laps in, second caution. Will we start seeing drivers? You got Kevin McCullough Jr., he's down pit road, the number 14 machine, as well as Stephen Page, the number 1. But we're going to try this once more. See if maybe we can get some green flag racing. We have had 2 cautions so far this evening. It's going to be Ballou and Bonwell once again up front. Fulton Radke, your second row. Kaufman and Ross, your third row. Nascar gets ready to dive down pit road, signifying we are ready to go green flag racing once more. And away goes Ballou, absolutely on the throttle, holding on to that #1 spot. That's going to put Josh Bonwell, Derek Fulton, Jeff Radke in a very heated battle, 2nd through 4th, but it looks like Bonwell slots in nice and easy. Fulton holds on to 3rd. He's got Radke as well as Kaufman. And Kaufman looks like he's ready to make some moves in that #41 machine. Fencing at the inside line against Radke's 51. Radke running a little bit more of a swooping line, carrying a bit more corner speed. You can almost see it mirrored there with Chad Ross at the 38. Oh, look at this. That's not going to end well. That's Hawks, Parks, and McKinney starting to put the front bumpers to play here in New Smyrna. John Ballou out front, your race leader. Clicks off an 18.51. That's the fastest lap so far of the night. Parks has McKinney right behind him. You can also see Corey Stahl, 66 machine, being very, very patient here, picking up spots where he can grab them. Field, at least for the time being, looks to have calmed down ever so slightly. As for the most part, we're running single file here in New Smyrna. Stephen Page gets back out on track, #1. We pan back to Jeff Radke. He's got James Kaufman in very hot pursuit. Kaufman, the 41, the red and white, trying to find a way around the 51 of Radke. But just such a small track, really needing to force your opponents into some sort of mistake, trying to get them to overdrive these trucks and maybe try and get the guy in front of you, maybe use up a little bit more tire than they planned to early on in the run. But we're going to have another incident, and it's going to be, unfortunately, Stephen Page takes a tow, but still brings out the caution, our 3rd of the night. As let's check in the #1 machine. He was running 15th when it happened. Looks like it's going to be a solo truck incident. Just gets loose coming out of 4, loops it around. Oh, narrowly into the race line. Takes a tow, but the caution had already come out. And that will be our 3rd caution of the night. 29 laps into this main event. Derek Fulton, Jeff Radke, John Ballou, all down pit road. The rest of the 11 drivers in the lead lap opting to stay out, valuing the track condition more so than fresh tires or fuel. Looks like Ballou and Fulton may be on a 2-tire strategy, while Jeff Radke's 51 appears to be the only driver who took 4 tires in that stop. So again, we are under eye pacing conditions. Drivers having ample opportunity to check out the track under very slow conditions. Looks like 14 drivers remaining on track. Of the 16 who entered, all 14 still on the lead lap. Now look at Jimmy Socks back here in the 01. He's kind of hanging out, watching the rest of the field. He doesn't want to have anything to do with the car that's about to happen with these restarts. And as I say, restart, Bonwell on the gas. Looked like Chad Ross almost got in the back of Kaufman. Dargert having to take evasive maneuvers in the 57 machine. And back here, there's Sean Ballou cutting through traffic, or at least trying to, the number 9 machine. He's got Wally Babb on the inside line. Oh, these side-by-side moments always get a little bit hairy. Now, Ballou's got at least 2 fresh tires underneath them. Just about everybody else still on their original set. But how much of those tires helping or hindering, because the track is so tight, really tough for Ballou to make any moves through the field. Oh, as I say that, a massive run the inside line, trying to make a move on McKinney. Meanwhile, McKinney's got his eyes forward on Hawks in the 45, and Hawks trying to track down Stahl. So there's a very heated battle just inside the top 10. A rough place for these drivers to be in, knowing they've got to wick up the pace. There's a few really fast drivers right behind them, trying to muscle their way back up towards the front. As I say that, Jeff Radke's one of those guys, not afraid to use some muscle. He's gotten around Derek Fulton and Wally Babb. Fulton's going to follow the 51 on the inside line against the Georgia native in the 99 machine. Got to be very careful when to pick those passes here in New Smyrna. Otherwise, you can find yourself maybe getting into somebody. They've got slightly different brake markers. Well, as I say that, we saw Stahl, a little bit of a fishtail there out of the 66. Wondering if he got some help from Hawks. Hawks all over the apron there through 1 and 2. Trying to get that machine below the 66. And right behind Hawks, look at that, that's Ballou and McKinney. Battling for 8. McKinney's still on his original set of tires. Running a little bit more swooping line, trying to keep Ballou pinned down low. Maybe getting that number 9 to use up a little bit more tires. But they've got Eddie Hawks right in front of them as well. Surely we're not going to go 3 wide at New Smyrna. Oh, we're hinting at it. Hawks guard the inside line. Ballou and McKinney still side by side right behind them. This is the battle for 7th. Now that has slowed down the run of McKinney and Ballou. They're not making any forward progress here. As soon as they do, they catch up to the back of Hawks and then Stahl just ahead of them as well. Oh, this is getting a little bit frantic. Look at the move by McKinney in the 46. Carrying the outside line, finding a little bit of pace. I think Ballou's going to have to back out of that inside line. Seeing that the 46 is noticeably quicker, running that middle to high groove. Hawks falls back to 8th, maybe about to be 9th because Ballou seems he's got some momentum going. There's Corey Stahl sitting in 6th in that number 66 machine. Oh, a big bobble there from Hawks, losing some rear end drives. That's going to allow McKinney to move up into 7th in the 46. Almost a little bit of contact. There is contact. Ballou gets into the back of McKinney, sends him hard into the fence. Oh no, McKinney is going to be done and out of this one. A hard hit for the 46. Gets plowed into from behind. Keep an eye on the blue and yellow 46, Dalton McKinney. That's Eddie Hawks on the inside. And just not sure what happened here. I think Baloo is trying to get down low, not able to make it happen, and then McKinney just gets absolutely punished in the 46. And unfortunately, he will be going back to the virtual hauler. He is done and out for the evening here. Josh Bonwell, James Kaufman, Chad Ross, Darger, Parks, Dahl, all down pit road. Baloo's going to stay out in the number 9 machine. Looks like Radke, Fulton, McCullough, and Sox staying out as well. It looks like Baloo is down pit road. That's going to put Radke as your race leader. Fulton will be joining him on the front row. Bonwell and Kaufman, your second row. Ross, Dargert, your third row. Be our fourth caution of the night, 50 laps in. 85 more still to go for our drivers. Thirteen drivers still out on track on the lead lap. Pace car is in. Radke sets the start. Away he goes into 51. His last pit stop was lap 29. We think he took 4 fresh tires underneath them. Bonwell came in a lap 47. We think he's on 4 fresh tires as well. As there is Derek Fulton, James Kaufman, Chad Ross rounding out the top 5. We got some racing going on. John Baloo trying to work his way back up towards the front, but Josh Bonwell's got problems at the 56. Oh, Chad Ross has problems. Kaufman's around. The caution is out. And Jay Darger, finds himself pointing the right direction somehow. That was a long crash waiting to happen. I want to see what happened to Dargert. I believe he pulled the old 360 there in the 57. So watch, he kind of comes around the corner. There's Kaufman, flat track around the 41. Bonwell takes evasive maneuvers, gets into Dargert. Dargert tags the outside wall with the tail, the front, the tail again. And then magically he's pointing the right direction, avoiding impact from Chad Ross, who's got to be fortunate that he wasn't involved in that one. That'll be our 5th caution, 55 laps in. Radke still showing as the race leader. Fulton, Ross, Baloo down pit road. I'm a little surprised Dargert has it at 57. That Chevrolet is going to be looking a little bit worse for wear by the time it's all said and done here. to get the field's bet. I believe it's going to be Radke and Dargard in the front row. Bonwell Parks your second row, Stahl and Hawks your third row. As this quickly turns into a race of attrition here at New Smyrna. About 10 laps shy of the halfway mark. As the field gets gridded up, double file. Pace car is in. Radke smashes the loud pedal. Dargard in hot pursuit. Oh, Dargard immediately gets tagged by Bonwell hard in the wall. Bonwell gets collected as well. The field checks up. The sixth caution. Both Bonwell and Dargard going to have very heavy damage on that one. Dargard just can't catch a break here today. A start that was very short-lived. We're focusing in on Dargard, the 57 machine. Started second. Looked like he was trying to get down the inside line. It's just the slightest bump from Bonwell. Tries to chase it. No such luck. Slams the outside wall. Bonwell gets collected in that one as well. And the field absolutely scattering here. And something happened on the backstretch. It looked like Bonwell was in another incident. I wonder if 56 may have blown up here. No, just rolling to a stop. So Bonwell, not quite sure what caused the crash report to get triggered for a second time. As we said, a night of attrition. Chad Ross, John Ballou, Jay Dargard down pit road. Looks like everybody made it there under their own power, not seeing any toes from that incident. You see how many races going to be left at the end of this. Right now it shows 12 still on the lead lap. We had 16 enter. I'm not sure if Dargard's going to be able to get back out there, as that was an extremely hard hit on the front of the 57. Doesn't look like Bonwell came down pit road. Hard charger as it stands. Kenneth McCullough Jr. in the 03 machine opted not to qualify. Has kept his nose clean so far. He's up 9 positions. You've also got Eric Parks. He's up 8 spots. Corey Stahl and Wally Babb both up 7 positions. And we got a report, unfortunately, Jay Dargard, 32 minutes of damage. So he is definitely out of this main event. Still scoring 13th place points though, so not all is lost. As our iRacing safety car comes back down pit road, Radke immediately on the gas. Eric Parks follows in tow. Eddie Hawks, Corey Stahl going to have a battle for the 3rd place position. As we've got side-by-side action everywhere. Look at the big lunge from Kaufman, the 41. Throws it in incredibly deep against John Ballou. Tries to pick up a spot from Wally Babb with the number 99 machine as well. Looks like it's going to work. Babb gets very lightly pushed up the track, but carries just a little bit more speed. John Ballou goes to the high side. And look how deep Kaufman is going on the brakes there in the 41. He is going to guard that inside line with everything he has. But Bab, I was going to say, carried a little bit more speed. Must have had the slightest of bobbles as Kaufman moves back up to the 7th place position. But he's got Bab and Baloo right behind me. You see Josh Bonwell as well in the 56, closing the gap as well. He wants in on this battle. Kaufman takes over the 7th place spot. Looks like Baloo will follow the 41, putting Bab back in 9th place. But now Baloo's giving Kaufman some of the exact same medicine, muscling that number 9 machine up the inside line. Kenneth McCullough Jr. just in front of the 03 machine. He's going to play it safe here. We are past the halfway mark of the evening. Baloo slots up into 7th. A little bit further ahead, where Corey Stahl and Derek Fulton having a battle for 5th. Fulton the inside line, the number 70 machine. Stahl up high in the 66. Fulton quickly moving up into 4th, trying to break away. And that's going to leave Stahl with Kenneth McCullough Jr. right in tow. The 03 machine, who's up 8 spots. Both McCullough and Parks, 8 positions gained so far here tonight, as we've got 12 drivers still on the lead lap. Baloo moving up into 6th as McCullough falls back to 7th, make it 8th. As Kaufman not afraid to muscle his way through here. Now McCullough, a wily veteran here at the FEG PC NASCAR Oval Series. I think he's more than content to watch some of these hot rod drivers work their way through the field. And he says, all right, I'll see you guys when the caution comes out. Now checking back in on race leader Jeff Radke. He's up 6/10 over Eric Parks. Parks has Hawks 2/10 behind. Oh, look at that. About to be a 3-truck battle for second. It's Parks, Hawks, Fulton. Separated by less than 4/10 of a second. And now look at there, the friendly Canadian diving in deep the inside line, the number 70 Toyota Tundra. Fulton works up into 3rd, trying to make it 2nd as he's locked in behind Parks in the 73. Now we believe both Parks and Fulton, when they came around lap 47 in the case of Parks, or 55 for Fulton, are on a 4-tire strategy. But Parks, with a little bit older tires, still doing a good job fending off the number 70. Fulton trying the more swooping line around the outside, fights to put the power down, and does just that. Fulton charging up through the field here, has worked his way back up into 2nd. Now that number 7 Toyota, he qualified in the pole position. We know he has the pace. Can he get a bit of a green flag run to try and track down Jeff Radke? Radke was on 4 fresh tires, but it was all the way back on lap 29 the last time we saw Radke down pit road. So if we get a green flag run, and how it's been tonight, that is a major, major if. Fulton may have something in the back pocket here. Now, we have not seen any green flag stops tonight. If we could have that happen, that would be quite a treat to the fans at home. As it looks like Fulton very slowly closing the gap. And speaking of gap, there is none between John Baloo and Eddie Hawks. Baloo able to quickly take over the 4th place spot, that number 9, putting Hawks back in 5th in the 45. And now Hawks is going to slowly fall off the pace just ever so slightly. Very interested to see if Radke will be able to fend off Fulton, but surely we're going to have a caution come out. Corey Stahl parked, looks like that's going to be on the start-finish line straight, right in the race line, trying to get it fired up. No caution for Stahl. Oh, that could have been really, really bad if Stahl was still in the racing line. Let's see what happened to the distance 66 machine. Looks like a little bit of net code between himself and Kaufman. Oh, wow, that was miraculous that Stahl was able to quickly hop out of the way there. Stahl will go a lap down to 66, not too much damage. He'll be able to keep going here. But now he's going to need a caution to try and get back in the lead lap, as the gap still slowly tightening up between Radke, your race leader, and Derek Fulton, who qualified in the pole position. Fulton trying to work something out. As we go on board with Derek Fulton, a big move up the inside line for Fulton. It's a drag race out of turn 2. Radke carries a little bit more speed. Fulton not quite a big gap. And look at the front rotors glowing on that number 70 machine. Hard on the brakes, but Radke running a little bit more of a swooping line, just carrying a little bit more corner speed here. Able to keep Fulton at bay and trying to get that number 70 machine to use up a little bit more tires in the run. Radke knows he's at a tire disadvantage, but drivers were saying the truck was extremely loose and maybe only got looser as the run progresses. It's going to be an interesting call on who takes tires and when they do. Fulton still working the inside line, racing down the backstretch into turn 3. Fulton makes the move through 3 and 4, hard on the brakes. He's going to try and swoop wide here to keep Radke at bay. No, not able to make the move happen. Radke briefly taking over the race lead, right that much more fast line through the high side through 3 and 4. Fulton fighting tooth and nail lap after lap to try and lock in first. He wants to get in front of Radke so that way he can start running the middle line a little bit faster. As I think Fulton maybe using up a little bit more tires. He's almost clear. I think he is of Radke. Fulton hops back to the high side. And now he's going to put his head down the number 70 Toyota Tundra, try and build up a gap over Radke. Because John Ballou's trying to get up there as well. But we are going to have a crash and a caution showing Kent McCullough Jr. involved in that one. Very uncharacteristic for the 03 machine. What happened here? Oh, a little bit of, oh, I see. McCullough was trying to correct to avoid getting into Hawks. And well done to Kaufman avoiding McCullough there. That will be our 7th caution of the night, 90 laps in. Doesn't look like we're going to have those green flag stops we were asking about earlier. Just about everybody down pit road except for John Ballou. And the number 9 machine, he opts to stay out here. His last pit stop was 31 laps ago on lap 61. And everybody else down pit road, save for Corey Stahl, who's going to get back on the lead lap here in the 66. So Ballou's going to be out front with about 30 lap older tires. Starting second, Derek Fulton looks like he's on a 4-tire stop, as well as Jeff Radke, Eric Parks sitting just inside the top 5. And here we go. Ballou's going to try and hold on to it with older tires, but he's got Fulton and Radke right behind him. A little bit less than 40 laps left to go here at New Smyrna. You can see there's a little bit of battle damage. Oh, but we've got problems again. Looks like it may have been McCullough involved in another one. What happened there? Let's back that camera angle up a little bit. It's between McCullough and Kaufman. Looks like Kaufman may have come down on McCullough's 03 machine. Kept it off the wall. And yet another caution, 8th caution of the night. So let's see, does Ballou stay out, trying to hold on to the track position? Chad Ross down pit road. Looks like an extended stay on pit road, over 18 seconds so far. That's going to leave 11 drivers out on track on the lead lap. Chad Ross does leave his pits after 22 seconds. They're taking possibly tires, possibly just repairs on that one. We're going to try this again with should be about 32 laps left to go on the restart. It's Ballou and Fulton in the front row. Radke Parks your second row. Babb and Sox your third row. Sox, our current hard charger in the 01. He's up 10 positions. Let's see if we can get some green flag laps going here. Ballou up front, he's going to try and control the pace, keeping Fulton and the rest of the gang with newer tires behind him. That 09 machine going to make itself a little bit wide up front, but here comes Fulton, the friendly Canadian, looking for a weakness out of Ballou. As it looks like it's a little bit dicey, going a little bit further back. Oh, it's very heated. I spot McCullough, Babb, Ross, Sox, Stahl, all in the fray here. Trying to get that preferred track position. Knowing if they're in a odd number placing, as Ross currently 7th, that means he'll be on the inside line for the next restart. But up front, it looks like Fulton and Radke, second and third, closing the gap up to Ballou. We've seen Fulton make that inside line work before, but it definitely seems like the faster line here at New Smyrna around the outside. Just a little bit momentum being everything for these drivers. But Ballou, no stranger to running up front. And now Fulton may have his hands full with Radke's 51 machine. If they start battling for second, that's going to allow Ballou to stretch that gap, as he is currently enjoying all the clean air on the front of that Chevy. It's Chevy and Toyota running first and second. Our fastest Ford out on track, Jimmy Sox. He's sitting ninth on the leaderboard. As it looks like Eddie Hawks, Ken McCullough Jr. fighting for fifth. Now James Kaufman sitting 12th, a lap down, 2 laps down. This clipped off the fastest lap of the race in 18.51. So he's definitely got the pace, but a bit of a bobble there as Hawks tags the outside wall. Fulton has wicked up the pace as well. He's right behind John Ballou. But we get ready to go. 25 laps left to go. Or are we going to see the old chrome horn come into play here at New Smyrna? A bit of a bobble there out of Ballou, tagging the outside wall. Fulton saw the opportunity, deciding not to strike just yet, but here comes Fulton at the inside line. Ballou's going to be ahead by about 1/100th of a second, crossing the start-finish line. But now right side by side with Fulton. Oh, how's this going to pan out? Fulton's going to have the line into turn 3. Looks like Radke's going to follow the number 70 machine, trying to keep Ballou out on the high side. Fulton had about a half truck length crossing the line, but Ballou fires back immediately through 1 and 2. We've got 24 laps left to go here in New Smyrna. Fulton trying to get clear of the number 9 machine, using those fresher tires to his advantage. Fulton fully clear here. Now it's going to be Jeff Radke. He wants another position. You can see Eric Parks, Ken McCullough Jr. just inside the top 5. They're battling for the 4th place spot. Oh, you saw McCullough able to make that inside line work against Eric Parks. McCullough always a bit of a dark horse here when he opts not to qualify. You're never quite sure what's going to happen with that 03 machine. But Derek Fulton, your race leader, has built up a 1.1 second gap for the lead, as I think Ballou and Radke, yes, are going to slow down the pace as they battle for second. Ballou's going to go defensive, allowing Fulton ample opportunity to get a little bit further ahead as Radke keeps the pressure on the inside line. And here comes Ken McCullough. He's up 10 spots. He wants up on the podium, as right in front of that 03 machine, Ballou and Radke just going at it, still side by side. We go on board with McCullough, and he's got a great view of the battle for second. And now McCullough's here. It's going to be a 3-car battle for second. Ballou, Radke, McCullough, separated by less than 0.4 of a second. McCullough and Ballou go high. Radke stays low. It might be McCullough's turn to throw it up the inside line. Not quite able to strike against Radke. Radke gives a big hearty shove to Ballou, letting that number 9 machine know, hey, here I am, and I want another spot. We got to get going. McCullough right behind. And don't count out Eric Parks as well in the 73 machine. He's sitting inside the top 5. While this is going on, Derek Fulton's pulled a 2.9 second gap. 17 laps left to go. If Fulton can keep this race green, he's looking really good to try and pick up another win. We've got 16 laps to make it happen. And Ballou and Radke, no quarter given, but here goes Radke fishtailing down the back stretch, able to hold on to it. And Baloo and McCullough are going to try and sort things out for second and third. While this is going on, Fulton has pulled a 3.6 second advantage. Now, Baloo and McCullough, if I am correct here, are teammates. We may see them working together, trying to maximize things for the team. Oh, a bit of a bobble out of Baloo. Immediately answered by McCullough, who also gets a rear end shimmy. McCullough down the inside line through 1 and 2. Not going to be able to get clear of Baloo this time, but starting to take a peek at it in the battle for second. All the while, Eric Parks in fourth has been closing the gap in that 73 machine. McCullough looks like he's going to try. Yes, he is through 3 and 4, the inside line. But very tough to roll on the power when you tighten that corner up so much. But McCullough will take over the second place spot. It's going to be 12 positions gained for the 03 machine. Baloo falls back to third. And Eric Parks looks on in fourth. Jeff Radke's moved back up to fifth. He'll be driving like a man possessed as we're 10 laps left to go here in New Smyrna. McCullough, now that he's got clean air in front of him, he has built up a 3/4 of a second advantage over Baloo. But look what's happening just inside the top 5. Park sitting fourth. He's got pressure from Radke and Ross alike. 8 laps left to go. If we can take this race to the white flag, we will not need our green-white checker attempts, as we still have 12 of the 16 drivers who entered out on track trying to maximize those points. Ross shoots the gap against Radke, trying to put that 38 machine inside the top 5. It's going to slow Radke's advance down. Radke, oh, contact between Ross and Radke. Both drivers come through unscathed, giving Eddie Hawks in the 45 another chance of redemption. Radke trying to carry as much corner speed as he can against Ross. Ross riding defensively in the 38. 5 laps left to go. As yes, we get confirmation the top 3 drivers, it looks like they're all on the same team here. Bolton, McCullough, and Baloo trying to lock things up for their team. Let's pan back to Derek Fulton, your race leader. Clean track ahead and behind the number 70 machine. 3 laps left to go here at New Smyrna. He wants to take that white flag. He does not want to see the yellow come out and reset the field. All the hard work will be undone if that is the case. And man, McCullough, Baloo, Parks, Ross, the rest of the drivers in the top 5, not even in the camera frame. As Fulton making it happen here, the white flag will be out this time by. White flag is out for the friendly Canadian, Derek Fulton. Heading to turn 3 and 4 for the final time. And Derek Fulton picks up another win to his name. Kenneth McCullough Jr. will finish second, and John Baloo will round out the top 3. Derek Fulton going to burn it down in style here at New Smyrna, bringing home the short track win. Qualified on pole, winning the race. Just about a perfect evening for the number 70 machine, as I believe that is a back-to-back win as well for Fulton. And Fulton just enjoying the limelight here. We're going to start getting these drivers up here into victory lane. Up first, we got Mr. Baloo, the number 9 machine, up one position over the night. I don't think we're seeing a single truck leave with intact bodywork after this one.
Nah, James, this is a short track. You expect a little rubbing, but I got a little dicey there. I didn't take tires and kept putting fuel in it, trying to free the truck up, and it just went too far with my adjustments. I mean, that's the only adjustments we got. I should have pitted with everybody else, and I would have had a better shot. But finishing 1, 2, 3 with DFR Blue, you can't ask for much more. Just trying to keep pointing this thing out.
Yeah, great night for you and the team. And talking about the tire strategy, I mean, if I was in the driver's seat, it would have been a safe bet, thinking, we've had so many cautions, surely have a number, but another one late in the race. But what are you starting to think when going, oh no, we might go green for the rest of this thing?
Yeah, I mean, I was really hoping of shooting for 20 to go and to put a fresh set on. But, I mean, even if I did put a fresh set on, I'd have to drive through the field, and the odds of getting through there cleanly and having a shot at the win are probably slim to none. So, I mean, it just wasn't a good strategy. But P3, I'm not happy, but not mad either.
Yep, like you said, a great points night for you and the team. And before I let you sign off, who helped you, or you want to give a shout out to that helped bring you home in the third place spot this evening?
Yeah, shout out, like I said, everybody at DFR Blue did good this week. Missing Jeremy. But you got to thank everybody at Reaper Speed Lab. They built awesome setups, the open side. Yeah, thanks for Jeff putting on this league. It's fun with the strategy. It doesn't always pan out in our way, but we still have to work hard for it.
Well, very well said. Congratulations on the third and the great result for you and the team, and hope to have you back up here next week.
See you, man.
Thank you, sir. That was John Ballou finishing third. Up next, we've got Kenneth McCullough Jr. As always, the dark horse. We see different strategy calls. Sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. Tonight, my friend, I think it was one that worked out pretty well for you despite some early mid-race carnage.
Yeah, man, it was a pretty good race. I hated to get that 2X there when I did. I think I might have been looking pretty good there for the money if I wouldn't have got that.
Now, coming into New Smyrna, I think it's the only kind of unique short track we're running this season. And as the promoter said, haven't ran it in 4 or 5 years. Did this race go cleaner than you were expecting, rougher, or just about what you expected?
I think it went a little cleaner than I thought it was going to go. That's why I started in the back. Figured I'd let everybody get the X's out the way, and then I could make a charge about halfway through there. Wasn't too bad, though. I was a little better than I thought I was going to be.
Yeah, up 12 spots, the hard charger of the night. If you knew tonight was going to be as cleaner than we were expecting, do you think you would have qualified, or are you pretty happy with the call you made?
Nah, I think I'd have still started in the back. Looked like there was carnage going on everywhere there for a little bit.
It definitely was. Well, Kenneth, a great night, especially for you and the team. Solid points all the way around, and a very well-earned second in our Hard Charger Award. Who do you want to give a shout to that helped make this result possible for you?
I gotta thank the team there, finishing 1, 2, 3. You can't do that too often, so that was pretty nice. Thank you for putting on the broadcast, and thank Jeff for doing this thing week in and week out, and thank all them viewers out there just watching us.
Awesome. Well said, Kenneth. Always a pleasure, my friend, and hope to keep that momentum and have you back up here next week.
Yes, sir.
That was Kenneth McCullough Jr. bringing home the second place spot. But up next, the man, the myth, the legend, Derek Fulton. correct me if I'm wrong, this is back-to-back, isn't it, my friend?
That's right. Finally.
Welcome back to the top spot. Qualified in pole. Narrowly missed out on the hat trick for the second week in a row. I think you were 100th of a second off the fastest lap of the race, but it looked like things were getting kind of dicey, and we didn't know how the cards were going to fall at the end of this thing.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do. I think we definitely made that right call with 45 to go or so when we did pit. I didn't know who was going to, and I came back out and I seen it was just the 9 car in front of me. I knew that we were looking pretty good as a team because, if we could finish it out top 3 like we did, I knew we'd be sitting pretty good. So proud of Kenny to get up there and get the third car in, and then that's a pretty good team finish for us all.
Now, Derek, we've seen you make some really great strategy calls so far this season. How apprehensive are you when throughout a run you're thinking, all right, we're on a winning strategy, this is what we need, and then it's kind of in the other driver's hands if we're going to have a caution or not to kind of throw a wrench in all that hard-fought work you've done?
Yeah, I mean, it's you never really know how these things are going to play out. That's why you got to try to cover all grounds. I didn't know if it was going to be a short or long run race. I thought we were going to get a long run, so I thought we'd go that strategy, but then I ended up playing more for short run tonight. So you never really know how it's going to work out, I guess.
Well, worked out well, putting that number 70 machine back in the top spot. A very dominant finish. I believe is a 6.2 second advantage you had at the end of it. So winning in commanding style, and you and the team had a great night all the way around. And Derek, no stranger, but you've got the privilege, the pleasure, the final send-offs of the evening. Who do you want to give a shout to that helped make this win possible for you?
Definitely shout out to Jeff at FEG PC for putting these on, and all the guys at DFR Blue and Octorap always, and IREL and Fibs Clothing as well.
Awesome. Derek, always a pleasure, my friend. Good to have you back to back, and let's see if we can make it a three-peat next week and maybe break some records.
Awesome. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, sir. That was Derek Fulton finishing in the top spot here at New Smyrna. We had 135 laps. We had big crashes, lots of cautions, and a back-to-back winner with a friendly Canadian, Derek Fulton, accompanied by his teammates on the podium, Kenneth McCall Jr. second and John Ballou third. On behalf of FEG, PC.net, and Team Goon Squad Broadcasting, my name has been James East. Thank you all so much for spending your Monday afternoon with us, and I'll see you at the next one. Have a great night, everybody.